Well, here we are again, old farts in his kitchen, and he's discovered another new recipe. As I move from pre-diabetes into diabetes, I'm really missing a lot of the dishes that I used to eat, like pancakes. Well, I discovered a lovely recipe for almond flour pancakes, and I've even found some sugar-free maple syrup that actually tastes pretty much like maple syrup, but doesn't have any of those metallic chemical aftertastes that so many of the imitation syrups and things have. It's actually pretty good. And so we'll start. We'll use almond flour, bleached almond flour, and it rises by using baking powder. And we use a little bit of canola oil, and we use vanilla extract, a little touch of salt, and an egg. What could be simpler? I kind of like a little texture in my pancakes. So I also add a tablespoon of almond meal, which as opposed to the flour is just kind of ground almonds. The flour is treated differently, as well as a tablespoon of psyllium, unflavored psyllium, which is very good for the digestive tract, but it also, with almond flour, it gets a little kind of sticky and holds everything together. I find things made with almond flour can tend to crumble a little bit, not hold together as well. So these are both optional, but they make, I think, better pancakes, but everyone has a different taste. So I will not waste any more of your time and start in on the dry ingredients first. So off we go. I like to do the dry ones first because it's easier. And also, with almond flour, I don't know how well you can see this. Let's see if I can raise this up to the camera. But you can see that there are little lumps and bumps in it. We want to have the almond flour to be as smooth as we possibly can, or those might get transmitted to the pancakes. Oh, there you are, pancakes. I've got several cameras. Understand that I'm amateur at this, you know. Okay, to sift it only takes a few seconds. Almond, the ground almond. What did I just call it? And the psyllium, and it's 1 tablespoon of each. 1/8 of a tablespoon of salt. I like this pink salt. I don't use much salt, actually. Diabetics aren't supposed to use much salt. So we go very easily with that. Oh, yes, and the 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, which will help these rise and be fluffier. I'm generous with that. I like mine fluffy. No offense, Fluffy. Okay, we just get these mixed up so that they're well mixed together. Doesn't take much effort. Now, this I will set aside as I make the liquid combination. So this gets us to the liquid part. So we've got an egg. We have a tablespoon of the 0 sugar imitation maple syrup. Got a tablespoon of, I use canola oil. Now we use a 1/2 tablespoon of the vanilla, and something I forgot at the very beginning, I use 4 or 5 tablespoons of the almond, unflavored almond milk, because it gets sticky, and when you first put it together it's a bit thin, but then it thickens up, and you don't want it to be too thick when you put it in the skillet. Okay, start with the egg. I've never mastered the ability to break an egg open just by hitting it or doing it. Never mind. Okay, so then I usually go with the oil because it leaves a coat on the tablespoon. Shh! Enough of you. on the tablespoon, and then everything else just slides right off of it. So in goes the oil. In goes the maple syrup, which we will use later on over the top. But this is very nice because it creates a very nice maple flavored pancake with syrup or no syrup. So that's the half of the vanilla extract. Nothing like vanilla extract. Okay, and those will drip all over the place, of course. And then we have the almond milk. I'm going to use 5 because when I use 4 I always have to add another one because the mixture starts thickening up too much. Okay, so if I have to add more, then I add more, but I probably don't need to. But if I do, I can. It's all up to how you like your pancakes. Do you like them thick, or do you like them thin? Do you like them large, or do you like them small? You can cook these pancakes in the same way you cook every other pancake. It's just a little different when you put it in the skillet because it does tend to be thick and you need to kind of move it around to get it to thin out and fill out its shape. I've cleared the decks. This is where we mix the two together. Then you need to let it sit just 4 or 5 minutes so that the flour absorbs the liquid into it. Then I always like to use my spatula to just get the last drop out. Stingy that way, probably growing up after World War II in England. So you can either use your whisk or the spatula, doesn't matter, spoon, anything, just to get it well mixed up. You can see it's already a little gooey sticky, which means at least it'll hold together. Now I've preheating a skillet, so while this sits for a little bit, I'll change my setup and we'll start making some pancakes. So here we are, kind of squished in around my stove. Had to bring all the equipment over and try to make it work. But we have to do this if we're going to see how we actually make the pancake. The pan has been getting quite hot. It's taken me a while. Then I use this sort of plasticky thing. It's supposed to be heat resistant, so just get oil on the bottom of the pan. I take a spoon. No, this one's looking a little healthier. See, it wiggles and jiggles a bit like Jell-O. Okay, I think I'm getting to this one a little sooner. You can just slip your spatula under it. If it goes underneath it, then you know you're okay. There we go, that's better. Now you can see little holes appearing down around here. Okay, this one's good to go. Et voila. That's the funniest stack of pancakes I've ever seen. Okay. Well, we did it. They're a bit overcooked, I have to admit. I usually don't get them quite this. The skillet's usually cooler on the other. Oh well, never mind. No excuses, no excuses. Anyway, here we go. We got 4 out of that recipe. The last one was kind of larger than the others because there was a bit left over, so I always put some butter on. You can do anything you want with them. I love them with butter. This actually is not 100% butter. This is, what do you call it, Land O'Lakes light butter with canola oil. That works fine for me. It tastes like butter. It's half butter, half canola oil. Okay, nicely distributed. Then the zero sugar maple syrup over the top. Yum. Well, I don't want to be premature on the yum bit, so let's see how they actually taste. Drenched in maple syrup. Well, despite the overcooking, they really taste great. So I can recommend them for anyone who wants to get back to being able to have pancakes, but can't eat the sugar and can't eat the wheat, because wheat turns to sugar in your system, as we all know. And you can, they taste just like pancakes, and they're delicious. Whether they taste like pancakes or not, they're really good. Good cooking.